Happy March. Happy spring cleaning. Here's what you need to know. Number one, is this late in the month for a March newsletter? Sure. Be in the flow with me, won't you? Number two, I heard you. You need to know how your lymph works a little bit deeper than I've taught you. So we're going after it. There's webinars, more coming at you this month. At the end of the month, join us. There's more about it in the newsletter. Number three, third thing, water, the element of water. We are a body of water. The lymph is our water, and it's time to spring clean. Change of seasons is a great time to change behaviors, to really look at what we need, what we don't need, get rid of what we don't need, incorporate what we do need. Fourth thing, what does success look like with the lymph system? What does success look like when we do the spring cleaning in our bodies? That looks like better sleep. That looks like less headaches. That looks like better mood. That looks like knowing when something comes up that I've got a tool, I've got a system, I've got an access to get over it or through it so I can no longer hold on to it and carry it so I can be free of it. Success looks to me in the world not just in healthcare, but in every way, because in all honesty, if you don't have freedom in your health, I would contend you don't have freedom. And if the last 5 years didn't teach us that, nothing ever will. Because I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how many followers you have, what your status is from a fame perspective. If you do not have health, you don't have freedom. And I know I'm the luckiest girl alive because in this last 2 years, particularly, I have been exposed and found myself in positions where I've become very present to the fact of how exactly free I really am. Because no matter what thing seems to come up against me, whether it's physical, like in breaking my elbow, it's the horrible viruses that have been created to attack the human species, whether it's man-made vaccines that are here to attack the human species, whether it's an unheard of level of stress, emotional and mental stress that's here to challenge the human species. It is our ability to have the freedom to know how to get through that, overcome that, and not let it be. That we get to choose our response in all those experiences, that none of that we are a victim of. None of that is controlling our lives, but we control the one thing that we can control. And you know what that is, right? And if you don't, then dive deeper into this work, please, because we talk about it all the time. And the one thing that we can control is our response, right? And our response being in the state of flow and energy flow, no matter what pressure is up against us, that we can regulate, we can regenerate, we can overcome it. We can be in the state of flow. As a body of water, we can flow with life. And that body of water, the goal is we don't have as many peaks and valleys in our waves, that our waves are more fluid and more in alignment and more in balance and more in regulation. And yeah, we get some exciting things and maybe we get some low peaks. However, we know how to get through those the majority of the time like this. We don't stay down here. And if we go up here, we don't get mystified by the fact that living there all the time is realistic, because life is about all the things. The pain, the contrast in life is here as the next pinpoint of where to head. And maybe at some point we'll get through that, where joy becomes, which is my goal, becomes the next, oh, can I go and experience that? Because that would bring me even more joy. And that really is where I feel like I'm at this point. Even when I broke the elbow, within moments, I said, Why did you do this? I know you did this for me. Speaking to the universe, to God, to source, to oneness, to love, to it, whatever you want to call it, God. Why did you do this? For my highest good, no doubt. But really, do I have to go through this again? But that's okay because I have the tools and I can become a better me on the other side of it. Because nothing doesn't happen to me, everything happens for me. And with that framework, with that perspective, I can continue to move through that because I have the tools to open up my fascia, get my lymph moving, get the oxygen to flow, to allow that water to truly structure and hold that highest frequency. All of life is a vibration and a frequency. This is the vessel holding the frequency, and 90% of this vessel is water. That is the lowest common denominator in the body. And we have new tools for you to have that great source of water. Got to read more about that in the newsletter. And more interactive opportunities in our forum, in our webinars, in our immersions, in our virtual programs to help your frequency in that water let go of all the things it doesn't need and hold on to the purity, the clarity. Like think of water that's not filtered, that's mucky, like in a fish tank, that's never been changed, that hasn't been exposed to pure oxygen through filtering it through a carbon filter, which is what they put in fish tanks. So the water, your body of water, is the foundational terrain. It is that space that your cells and your organs, essentially your continents being your organs and your glands, are living in if your body was the earth. So the water, you have 90% water in this body, let's say even 70% water. If we have a choice to make an impact on the body, do we work in the water, which we're 70 to 90% of, or do we work in the lands, the terrain, the organs and the glands, the function of things, which is 10 to 30% at best? I'm not great at math, folks, but I say we work in the larger probability and get a bigger impact as it is the bigger surface area. It's as simple as that. And so join us through the newsletter through the month of March. April to soon be here, but experience your own wisdom within and experience your water's wisdom within and dive deep into this month's episode of the March newsletter here at the True Wellness Center. We love you, and truly from my heart to yours. Until next